as you were saying, we've done plenty of water running. Not gonna lie, probably one of the most boring things I've done in terms of running up and down the pool. Have done a couple of sessions of that over the last sort of week or so. I'm actually skipping ahead quite a bit here in terms of like, it's now Thursday. I've already spoken to the doctor. I'm going to give you that update in a bit. But last week did some water running, 800 meters, so 20 minutes continuous, then did a K on the weekend and then did another 800. Felt fine, no pain. So that leads us to where we're up to now in terms of having seen the sports doctor on Tuesday night. It's now the 24th. So the Tuesday, the 22nd of March is where we got our next update, which some pretty exciting news about what's going to happen tonight. So I'm not quite heading into training yet. I've got about 45 minutes until I need to get going, but we're going to be able to run for the first time. So that's really, really exciting in terms of finally we're able to actually get out and run on land. We skipped through reasonably quickly, and this is where it's been a little bit hard to keep you up to date on exactly what has been going on, because it's been moving such a rapid rate of progress. And I guess the point of that is that no individual injury is going to be necessarily the same process as another. Like, I've been very, very lucky at this point in time. I've had no hiccups along the path. I've healed really quickly. I passed my calf strength testing, which I'll talk about in a second, on Tuesday night. And ultimately that's going to lead to me being able to run tonight. Small loads, 30-second on, 30-second walk at like 5:30 pace, really, really low, but we're actually hoping to ramp that up quite quickly. So over the space of a couple of weeks, we could be back to game running. So big milestone. I've been looking forward to this for weeks. Like I said, water running is not exactly the most exciting thing to do. I'm gonna start bouncing a football again. I'm not gonna be able to show you too much of what's happening tonight, but Saturday when I have my session on my own, I can film a bit more. I'm gonna quickly get a few things ready. And then I'll quickly talk to you before I head into training about what that calf testing or the general testing was between left and right to clear me to run tonight. Alright, so in terms of things I had to do to be able to run tonight, obviously I had to tick off no pain. So I haven't been getting any pain. General day, I've been doing lots of walking, trying to get my steps up, all that stuff. Been doing my daily strength, proprioceptive stuff, the balance stuff we talked about last installment, calf raises, general strength, everything's been ticking off really, really well. The actual testing assessment part, we did a couple of tests on strength, so me pushing in. So think about this as the inside of my foot. I had to push in against resistance with a sports dock on Tuesday just to test if there was any pain. Went through a couple of things just to double check. Then it was into some actual testing. So I was walking barefoot up and back just to see movement pattern, see if I was compensating still, because obviously at the beginning of this process when I still had some pain, I was compensating. I was heavily reliant on my right leg quite a bit. So we wanted to make sure I wasn't still doing that. Then we went in, walked on my tippy toes, walked on my heels. Classic tests of just to see, like, they're going to identify any pain at all. So like if I just change the movement pattern, test it every which way. The interesting parts were then jump testing. So I did some hop testing on both legs, like hops as high as I could and then land and catch nice and softly. I've lost obviously a lot of spring and power in my legs. Like I felt like I was struggling to get off the ground, but that was the same in my right and left. So the evenness there is a really good sign that I'm not way better on my right, and I'm going to cause problems when I start to run as a result of being way better on my right. So all that was just jumping up off the ground and landing left and right, both looking pretty even. So that was another big tick in the box. The hardest part of the testing was the calf raises. Now these are a killer. If you ever have to go through it, it is one of the things that is really, really tough. Basically all I had to do was to a metronome. So it was 4 clicks. So it was like click, 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 click. Basically the first 2, you're moving a calf raise up. This is single leg. So up, if you think about it that way. And as soon as you hit the top on the second one, you start coming down. So down, down. And that was the pattern I followed. And I just had to max rep it. When you actually do these, the aim is to fatigue yourself until you can't do any more, until you can't execute the movement. So on my right leg, I was able to get to about 20. So I squeezed out a 20th, then had to jump onto my left, and I wasn't told what I was supposed to try to get to. I wasn't told any of that information. It was purely how many can you maximally get. I got to 16 and knew very quickly I was going to get to 20. I actually got to 20 a bit more comfortably on my left actually than my right, which is kind of funny. Basically all we were looking for is less than 10% variance is kind of the optimal. So realistically I only had 2 or 3 calf raises to work with. That was enough to say that I have equal enough strength I have no pain, I have no aching, anything like that, that I can jump back in and just get straight into running, which is ultimately a really exciting part of the process, that I can jump in tonight and I can run. Tonight's session, as planned, is just 30-second on, 30-second walk. I haven't actually looked at how many I'm doing yet because we only sort of quickly put it together before I left training on Tuesday night, so I'll double check that when I get there. Still going to do my strength, still going to try to keep getting in the pool, got a bike session tomorrow. I'm going to play around with the loading a little bit differently now, purely because the running, I want to be as fresh as possible. So yesterday I took a complete rest day, which the last couple of weeks really, I haven't had really a complete rest day. I still do my proprioceptive and daily strength stuff, but I didn't go and do like a bike session or anything because I wanted to make sure that tonight I was as fresh as ready to go, so I can make the most of that running session just in case I am a bit sore tomorrow. So that's going to be a big thing. The brace, the air cast is going to stay on until I can run for at least a week without any pain. So hopefully next Tuesday we can start taking that off day to day, which is very exciting. I'm going to get ready to get into training. Look forward to giving you a bit of an update, hopefully maybe straight after or even tomorrow, see how I'm feeling. Excited to sort of bring you a little bit more running training and show you some running again, which has been a long time coming. We're currently 6 weeks after our last run. Next week will be 7. So, well, ultimately we're ticking that off tonight in terms of running again. But since we last fully did a session, 6 or 7 weeks now. And so I'm really looking forward to getting some proper training back and feeling like we're back up and going again. Can't wait for it. Look out for the rest of this little block, because this is going to be a really critical phase of the rest of the preparation. And hopefully this one goes as smooth the rest of it, and we could be back as early as 3 or 4 weeks from now, back to full performance, ready to go. Don't have to worry about anything. Looking forward to it. I'm going to head into training, and we'll catch you later in the week. So as you can see, we get a lot of stuff. All that stuff I just tipped out is just match gear for the upcoming football season. Across all the stuff I'm involved in, AFL, VFL, AFLW is way prior to this, so that's not all the stuff. That's literally just the stuff that I'm going to wear on field and actually run around in. It's a lot. We've got lots of colours of stuff, clash kits, non-clash kits, socks, sweatbands, shorts, shirts, all the off-field stuff I've already packed away and done because we got all that pre-season. But I got all that last night and most of it over the last week or so. The main thing I did want to talk to you about while I sort through all this gear is how the first run went last night, because we were back running, and as I said, I was going to give you an update. So I'm going to quickly sort through some of this and then we'll have a bit of a chat. All right, so first run was really a good success. Last night, jumped in, really sort of just settled back into things nice and easy. And as I said, I wasn't going to push it too hard, being the first one in really 6 weeks. Jumped in, did some movement preparation and general sort of movement, getting myself some dynamic stretching type activities, some running drills and things like that. Just again, to get me up and moving and just make sure that things were okay and I didn't get any pain there, because there's no point pushing me into a full jog and getting into a session if I'm already feeling pain on something very, very minimal. So got through that, felt okay. And it's also to help warm things up, because at the end of the day, I still need the soft tissue, the muscles to be all ready and prepared, even though I'm not running that quick. Then main set last night, 10 by 30 seconds on. The kicker to that, it's not really on, it's sort of just of a slow jog. It was 5:15 to 5:30 pace, like really, really cruisy and slow, just a very, very light, easy jog. I don't think my heart rate got much above about 140. I generally have quite a high heart rate when it comes to running as well, so 140 is very low for me. So really, really cruisy. 30 seconds on, 30 seconds walk, 10 times through. So that's 5 minutes worth of running, 3 minutes rest, and then back in another set. And just as straight line as possible. So I was running around the oval, just doing laps, trying to avoid any sharp changes of direction just for the time being. So I did one lot in clockwise, the other lot anti-clockwise. And ultimately pulled up really great. So the main thing was then, how did I pull up today? Pulled up fantastic. Ultimately today was a little bit lighter on as well. I decided quite last minute to do a bike session today, so it was 40 minutes of zone 2, of which I can start to boost the power back up a little bit more now, and I can get a bit more consistency in those bike sessions. But I really just want to take the back end of this week a little bit lighter. As I bring back the running, I want to make sure I'm giving myself best chance to execute the sessions as well as I can. So tomorrow is going to be the first opportunity I can show you some running. Saturday, same session is exactly what I did last night. I'm just repeating it again. We're just going a little bit quicker. So I've got the freedom to go up to about 5-minute K pace if I'm feeling up to it. Again, monitoring for localized pain. So I got through last night. I have to get through tomorrow. And then next Tuesday, if I get through that one, no pain. That means all throughout my just general daily stuff, the air cast can come off and I'm free to just wear normal socks and do all those normal things again, which is great. Still going to keep up all the proprioceptive stuff and all of that, of course, but it's just one of those extra little tick in the boxes, and another thing I'm really looking forward to. And as I've already mentioned, this progression is going to be about a 4-week progression. So hopefully tomorrow goes really well. We start to ramp things back up, but really great first start back. And apart from anything, psychologically, it was just such a big win. Like going and running again, I was extremely nervous in that first couple of minutes. Even though I'm doing 30 second on, 30 second off so slow, I was a bit nervous just making sure that wanting to have my leg hold up underneath me. And not that I was worried about it collapsing or anything, but it's just that doubt in your mind of, is there going to be pain? I don't want to put too much force through it. Heaps of positive, and it's just one of those extra ticks in the box that moves me up a little bit further and further towards performing again and getting back out on the field and doing what I love, which is umpiring football. Just setting those little targets and little goals and ticking off these little milestones along the way just keeps you on track, focused on, well, what are those little things I need to get towards, and what is everything in my control that I can tick off: nutrition, sleep, hydration, all of my proprioceptive strength, daily stuff, my swims, my bike sessions. When I do my running sessions now, I nail them and I warm up properly, and all those little bits and pieces that are just going to continue to speed this process up. Those are the little things that are keeping me motivated at the moment, and that's definitely something I recommend. Keep an eye on those little small details and focus in on what you can control. Because at the end of the day, some things you just can't control. Like when I'm back ready and I'm feeling good, I can't control then selection. I have to then prove myself and get back in and all of that stuff. So I'm just focusing on what can I do to get myself in a position that I'm back to where I was 100%. I can do exactly what I need to, and we're all good from there. So looking forward to the run tomorrow. We'll catch you out on the field. It's gonna be great to be able to show you some of that running. It's been a while since we've had some running appear in the performance vlog series, and then have a bit of a lighter on weekend again. Focus on the recovery aspect. Really make sure I give myself best chance to get out of this brace next week. I'm looking forward to that. But otherwise, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna quickly grab something to eat, bit of dinner, recover up, watch a bit of the footy on TV tonight, and relax. Running again tomorrow, can't wait for it, and yeah, we'll catch you out on field tomorrow. So we ran on the weekend, had a good time. It's Monday now. I'm going to do a bike session later on today. As you saw, I'm just looking after the little guy this week, my little dog Ollie. He's featured on the channel, I believe, ages ago, but I'm looking after him. So an extra little bit of walking and stuff going on, which is actually really good, because as I continue to progress the running, I actually keep needing to boost up how much walking I'm doing to bring my total load up. So it's not just a case of big walk day off, which it was a couple of weeks ago. Now it's very much a case if I have a running day, then I have a walking day. In the case of, at the moment, Saturday was my running day, so Sunday and Monday were walking days. Now, Tuesday will be the next running day, so tomorrow. I'm gonna zip around and do a couple of things. Like I said, bike session this afternoon, and I'm gonna start programming in the next little phase of my training, and I wanna keep some bike in there, because I reckon where it started to go a bit wrong, not necessarily exact same timing, but as I start to bring out more and more bike from the off-season planning, if you go back and watch the performance vlog series, early days in the off-season, I was doing a lot of bike. As I was bringing out some of that off-legs conditioning, I wasn't doing any swimming. That's where things started to become a bit too run-centric, and maybe that's what has been a contributor. I'm not saying it definitely is, but it might keep the bike in there. I'm going to start planning ahead how I can keep some of the swimming in as well, because I've been really enjoying that challenge of getting back in the pool and feeling like I'm getting faster again. You'll notice in the background a little bit of a different bike. What I'm also hopefully planning to do is get back out on the road. So once the brace comes off my leg, that's when I'll be able to get back out on the road, because then we're sort of it's a little bit easier, a little bit more manageable when I don't have it on my leg. I'm gonna clean this one up in a moment. Not that I'm gonna be racing tries or time trials or anything like that, but just so I can take it out, something a bit different, keep the bike interesting. Given it isn't a main component, given it is a bit of cross-training conditioning, off-legs conditioning if you like, going out and doing it a little bit differently and doing it in a way that's going to keep the intensity down because I focus on something else, give me a bit of a different stimulus in terms of mentally as well. Using the other bike is going to be a good way to do that. So this might actually wrap up this little section or this portion of the rehab vlogs, and I might join you with an update from tomorrow night's training because that might give us a bit more of an indication of how the next week and the week after that's going to look. We are actually hoping, as I said earlier, for a 3 to 4 week sort of build. So this is week 2. So that update tomorrow night's a really critical one to see, are we working off that timeline still, or maybe do we have to push it out, or can we bring it a bit earlier? See how that progression goes. Tomorrow should be a really big test of can I run a bit quicker as well. So that'll be an interesting one to look into. So I'm going to jump in, get all that done, bit of a busy day. But we'll catch you in the next installment of the rehab vlogs. Hopefully not too many more of these left. Hopefully 1 or 2 more of these episodes left, and then we're back on the performance vlog series where we're training, we're performing, we're doing what we want, and we're not worrying about the injury side of things. So that'll do. Catch you at the next one.